Yo, and we have another video. And this time, it's 50 Cent versus Diddy again. And we are wondering if Jane Doe, who is testifying in court, is 50 Cent's ex, Daphne Joy. That's what we're wondering. Everything points to it being her. We're not sure. It could be her, it might not be her. They can't say it for sure. But yeah, 50 Cent's latest troll involves the Queen's rapper sarcastically question who that Jane Doe currently testifying in Sheen Doddy Combs' sex trafficking trial is. As many suspects that it's 50's youngest mother, Daphne Joy. The Many Men rapper born Curtis Jackson took to the Instagram page early Friday, June 6 morning, with a post featuring a selfie of Joy and a courtroom sketch captioned, "Hey, does anyone know who Jane Doe is? I'm trying to research for the Diddy doc," followed by a wide-eyed emoji. He continued, "Man, this stuff with Elon and Trump's crazy," referring to the current rift between Testafan and POTUS. Yeah, okay. Crazy, man, crazy. My take on this is like, yeah, everyone's saying it is Daphne Joy. I mean, the timelines kind of match up when she has been dating Diddy, and Diddy's one of those guys who likes men's leftovers, quite literally. I mean, Gene Dill was saying how Diddy would go after men, not men. He would go after men, and he would go after women that Tupac was dating. You know, so if Tupac dated a woman, Diddy would want that woman. Very weird. So 50 Cent had a, yep, yeah, exactly. He going after 50 Cent's ex. And a lot of people saying some weird stuff about D, like he likes to rub men's, I don't know, ejaculate stuff on into his nipples. I don't know. I'm trying to think about it as a way of like, what is that? Some sort of like ritual of him? Like he sees powerful men. Like he's powerful as it is, money wise, but he would like to see someone with a bigger, bigger, private than his, and then he will take this and rub it into his. It's very weird. Maybe it makes him think of him being more manly. I don't know. It's odd. I mean, I don't think people in hip hop would look at Diddy the same way again after this. I mean, the Drinks Champ interview, when Diddy was drunk, we started to see the real Diddy come out. When him and Fabulous was talking, we was like, "What do you mean, party, party?" I'm like, everyone looking at each other like, "What?" So Fabulous was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 man! You talking about the party parties, on you? You can't be mentioning those parties." So Fabulous like, "Yeah, we party." And Diddy's like, "No, no, you ain't really party with me." And everyone was looking around. No, he was like, "What? Whoa, I ain't been invited to these parties. Is this a secret party? I ain't never been invited to these type of parties." So yeah, that came out, and people were looking at Diddy a bit strange then. But yeah, that was odd. And then we got this.
Like, when you drunk and you just and they just ping all over your body. You just come in the shower.
Young Miami says Diddy, she likes to be peed on by Diddy. It, it takes a whole new meaning to the word P Diddy. That's why the P's in Diddy, right? Because he likes to pee on these women. It's madness, man. I mean, that alone was a bit odd. That was a bit suspect at the time, but no one really took much notice of that. But little by little, all these things are starting to add up about this guy's character, you know, and it's starting to come together about how this guy's acting. And then there was this.
He like stomped on my stomach like really hard, and I like took the wind out of my breath.
Yeah, so that's Gina Han claiming in an interview in 2019 on the podcast to Tasha K that Diddy stomped on her stomach and punched her in the head during their 5 year relationship. See, Diddy, I started to see that he might have seen the writing on the wall, because he then she then was invited back into the Diddy fold, and he gave her a child. And that was maybe to shut her up because she was talking too much and he was scared. But, Cassie came back for the bag, and yeah, we are where we are now. You know, you know, weird, right? Very odd. And then yeah, that's not all I have to say. Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah. So did he? People saying it might be Daphne Joy. I'm thinking it is, because it all adds up. But and then you kind of think to yourself like, does this woman really need $10,000 worth of rent? It is very very strange. I'm gonna be honest. Like, she said to Diddy, she wanted to do OnlyFans, and Diddy's like, nah, don't do OnlyFans, because she said her friend made 4 million from OnlyFans. I mean, I don't know how much of that is true. A lot of people, when it comes to OnlyFans, they're trying to lure these young children, or not young children, but these young girls in. Not children. Children can't be doing OnlyFans, by the way. Yeah, they're trying to lure these young girls into the OnlyFans ecosystem. And what lures people into the ecosystem? Easy money. Where people say, oh yeah, you need to do is just show a bit of this and that. You don't need to do full nudity, and you can get 4 million. And that's not the case. Nobody's making that much money. They even said Black China back in the days was making 1 million a month. That wasn't happening. They say Cardi B was making that much. That's not happening. There's money to be made in OnlyFans. Same way there's money to be made on YouTube. But you need to diversify. If you just sat down there and just uploaded videos, there's not enough video, or not enough video that differentiates you from someone else, your private parts, that would be worth 4 million. Unless you're doing other things on the side, as we saw with Daphne Joy, where we heard that she had to participate in freak offs to pay her rent. You see, so you have to wonder, if she's doing that for Diddy, when you're on OnlyFans, what the hell are you doing on there for extra tips? Meeting up with sugar daddies and all sorts. Because no way you're getting 4 million for sitting down there with a bunch of bikini pics. And that's what she thought. So these women, they don't live in the real world, not living in reality. Can't just do semi-nude and you get like 4 million. No. You have to do extra stuff. That's how you get the extra money. That's how you get to the big bucks. And it's crazy how you see these people on social media and you think to yourself like, man, what do they do? You never see them do any work. I sit down there, I'm like, yo, man, some of these women, I'm on Instagram and I see some of these women and you just never see them do any work whatsoever. You never see them. They're always on holiday. That's one thing. They're always on holiday. You think to yourself like, how did they live their life? So I'm sitting down there working my ass off. I'm like, how are they always on holiday? But now we start to realize there's a lot of seediness to their lifestyles, where they're doing things behind the scenes. They don't let you know who they're sleeping with. They don't let you know what they're doing. But to attain that lifestyle where you don't have to work, you have to participate in freak offs, whether it be with Diddy or some other old man. That's how you live the lifetime, where you're always on holiday. You don't need to work. Ain't no one gonna be paying your bills for nothing. So you have to work some way or form. I'd rather just have a decent job rather than having to participate in weird behavior freak offs type stuff. Well, I'm a dude anyway, so I ain't ever gonna be doing that, man. But it could be some gay dudes doing that, you know. Well, Diddy could be paying some gay dudes to do it at the time, but yeah, it's weird, man. How people just portray this phony, fake lifestyle. Now you realize everything's coming out, how she was attaining this, and I thought the child support from 50 would have been enough, but clearly this woman wants a more lavisher lifestyle than the $12,000 or $10,000 a month she was getting from 50 Cent. She went to the posh apartment. People living way beyond their means, and that's how you end up in problems, you know. And she didn't see anything wrong with doing the freak offs. That's the crazy part. Until Diddy wanted it every day. And you know, Diddy ain't gonna be paying you to participate in freak offs here and there, you know. That's what I wondered about Cassie. When Cassie was like nearly the only person still like on Bad Boy Records, and the rumor was that she was a paid employee on Bad Boy. And you know, a lot of people saying, "Well, I know why she's still around. She's pretty, but yeah, she also dating Diddy." And now we know what other stuff she was doing. She was doing the freak offs with Diddy. So she was getting a paycheck from that, and everybody's getting a pay. Young Miami, you know, people. She was saying she was getting paid from Diddy, from apparently doing nothing. But now we know that she liked to drink Diddy pee. So that's one of her. That's one of her talents, you know. And everyone laughing. I mean, I remember on the academic stream they were saying about did he having a GoPro and having it hooked up to his TV, and that's exactly what was going on, man. I don't know if academics has been doing some weird, freaky stuff, but he seemed to be envisioning Diddy's doing things which we thought was a joke. And it turns out he was actually having this stuff hooked up, blown up on his damn TV screen. So that's funny as it is, you know. But yeah, man, it makes an eye opener to the world of these celebrities and how they conduct themselves and how they manage to maintain their lifestyles. You know, a lot of people don't know how it's done. Now you see what they have to do to live the life they live, especially when you're just dependent on your looks rather than actual brains and talent and what you have to do. Word to the wise, you know, this is not the right route to go down. You make a little bit of money here and there, but in the long run, you kind of degrade yourself, as she realized, and she was doing things she didn't like to do just to pay her rent, which to me seems extortionate. The amount of rent she wants to pay, like $10,000, but you know, you want to live that lifestyle, you gotta roll with those punches, and you have to do what you need to do, which is the freak offs. You know, she had to do them to keep the rent going, and Diddy still paying her rent right now. So we heard, you know. And as for Gina Han, I don't think she's run off anywhere. Maybe she's like some sort of witness protection. I don't know, because she already was the one who started the ball rolling when it comes to all these Diddy accusations. Because she was the one that said that Diddy was punching her in the head, stumping her. So she was the first one to come up with these accusations publicly on the Tasha K podcast. So to say Cassie had been going through it, but she came out and it started to get that ball rolling with other people starting to look things like But I did say that before, that Diddy did realize, like, whoa, okay, let's shut her up and give her a child. But I don't know, she may be just hiding out, or Diddy may have paid her off, because she does have a child with him. So, you know, who knows? Someone said she's another secret witness. If they all come and testify against him, man, this guy is finished. Because I feel that Gina knows more dark secrets to Diddy, and I think he's paying her a lot, you know, to keep her quiet. I could be wrong, but from what she's told us, Diddy is not a nice person. There's a lot of secrets out there that he doesn't want coming out. And as for the finishing statements on my evaluation on Diddy, if he is cleared of certain things, I don't feel that he could be let back into the fold in hip hop. I know he would apologize. He would probably start his little sad face crying. I don't know how Diddy would react. We haven't seen him this damaged before. But as for his status in hip hop, man, that was a legendary status. He had it all, and all he had to do is pay up behind the scenes. But he let his own big headedness and vainness, hubris, get ahead of him, where he decided to not pay up until someone started to spill more beans on him. And that's his downfall, really. It's even with the liquor company that he was beefing with. His downfall is that he was already rich, but he wanted more money. Most people, if they weren't close enough to be a billionaire, they would have been happy with that. But he wanted more. What more do you want in life? You already almost reached. People say he was a billionaire. What more did he want? Trillionaire? When you make more money than you can spend, you got too much money. End of. I'm out.